What's up, everybody? It's Mrs. Laline, your transformational homegirl, and I really want to have a very thought out, heartfelt conversation with all of you, centered around a hot topic that's been going around social media that I feel would be pertinent to our personal development and our growth as a sisterhood. So let's get into it without further ado.
New year, new blessings. No fear, no stress. No overextending. No L's, just lessons. No failures.
Y'all know on this platform that I have not been shy about sharing some of the things that I feel that we need to work on as a collective. And one of those things, in particular to Black women, are attitudes toward each other. We can be so hurtful, so negative and toxic toward each other and how we show up in support of one another that it's saddening. You know, as a community, this is definitely an area that we can work on as a collective. And, you know, I want to touch on some things that I saw throughout the past weeks that are trending topics to continue to open up the door to have these conversations centered around what we can do better and what's really the problem. Okay, so the first topic of conversation that I want to talk about is Naomie. Naomie is a Black woman who is a lawyer, shout out to sis, and doing big things for her community. However, she posted a picture on social media, and of course there had to be some people who wanted to talk about her features. Let's take a quick listen to what Naomie had to say.
Comments that I felt were mean, I was taken aback because it's never happened to me and it was so new. I was kind of like, wait, what? What's going on?
Pilula is a 37-year-old lawyer based in Lusaka, Zambia. She works hard, sings at church on Sundays, and enjoys getting her nails done and wearing clothes that make her feel good. One day, she posted a happy selfie online, but instead of kindness, she received many hurtful comments from strangers who said mean things about her. At first, Naomie thought about deleting the picture, but she didn't.
I quickly moved from being like shocked about it and then being kind of like, but that's just so mean. Like, why would you do that to another human being? Like, that's just mean, right? I moved from that to anger. Somewhere along the lines, I decided, hey, it's my page, it's my post. So in as much as you can't control what people say on a normal basis, at the very least, I can control where they say it.
Here you have Naomie, who is a lawyer, breaking generational curses, doing some amazing things for her community, showing up as a light in her own right. And instead of acknowledging her for her brilliance, many Black women had a lot to say about how she looked. And I must say that is just very simple-minded, just to project that type of toxicity on someone instead of looking at the groundbreaking hurdles that this woman had to overcome to be in the seat, in the rightful place that she is in, right? Like, we're not looking at each other for the groundbreaking accomplishments that we're doing within the world, the community, right? To leave a legacy for others that follow us. We would rather talk about what you got on, what your hair was like, how you looked a mess, right? There's always something to talk about in a way that's just negative, just downright negative. And for me, you know, these types of projections are toxic to our personal development and collective development and how we show up as in support for one another. It's so unfortunate because colorism has been an ongoing plague, and so has featureism. Featureism is also an ongoing, you know, topic that continues to just warp the minds of so many of our people. And it's like more than ever, right? This is the time for us to come together as a collective to show love and support one another. And I just feel like in our community, for many, it's hard to show up and support for one another because I truly believe misery loves company. I believe a lot of our people are projecting their own insecurities onto others. And the reason why I can speak so authentically to this situation, because I too was that girl who had a lot to work on internally, and my unattractive parts of my inner self from all of the trauma and the unhappiness and the low vibrational thinking, I was projecting that onto other women. All of that ugliness, all of those nasty projections had a lot to do with me and not the other person. I really want Black women to do a lot more introspection. I want us to start critically thinking, like, where is all of this coming from? And I know a lot of us are not going to do the inner homework, but I want to encourage us to just, as a collective, to start really deep diving in how we show up for each other, because this is a sensitive topic, and I know for many of us this is a struggle, you know, where you're nitpicking other women, you're finding something to talk about negatively, you just want to tear this woman down, but really it's just truthfully speaking to who you are. Now let's keep it real, Black women. Our Black men have been telling us for a very long time, might I add,
that our attitudes stink. P.U.
This isn't the first time we've been hearing about how we show up with each other, right? And how we look to the mass, right? And I care about that. I care about that because it shows up in difficulties in how people perceive us as a whole, right? And it creates unnecessary warfare. Black women, we have to do better with our attitudes and the things we say to each other, what we allow out of this mouth. God's word tells us to be quick to listen and slow to speak. And trust me, as a newlywed, that's definitely something I'm working on. And this is a great segue into the next topic I wanted to talk about. And of course, it's Miss Kelly Price. There's something that you must know. There's something that you must know. Now, y'all know I had to get my little song in there. So recently, Kelly Price had a live performance where she wore some clothes that she felt comfortable in during her performance. But you know, Black women had a lot to say. But let's hear Kelly Price's sentiments.
Black women, you are some of the most nasty, disrespectful people on God's planet Earth. The things that you say about other Black women, but you're an activist, and you are educated, and you are this, and you are that, and you are the other. Find yourself, because a degree does not give you class. Find yourself, because a degree ain't gonna get your stupid ass into heaven. Find yourself, because being a keyboard thug on social media ain't gonna do nothing but get your ass whipped when somebody walk up on you that don't know, that you don't even know is watching you.
Now, although I feel like Kelly Price's approach was very condescending, she did have a lot of truths in that conversation, right? And the truth is, Black women can be downright nasty to each other. I mean, really, really nasty. And it's really despicable behavior. It really, truly is. And it's telling that this is a pain point for us and how we show up. And again, let me stress that I'm not talking about everybody. I know how y'all like to tussle. Okay, some of y'all will hear one part and run with it. But a lot of us have a lot of inner work to do, because it's like this lady can't even come out and what makes her feel good and what makes her feel comfortable without somebody talking about her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, I don't agree with everything that Kelly Price said and how she said it, but it doesn't take away from the fact that she's speaking to a truth that has been an ongoing issue within our community. And these two situations are amongst millions of other situations that we as a community need to work on. And I'm hoping and I'm praying that we can truly get there, because I know when it comes to us, we have so much love to give, and we need each other as a community. That is just a subculture to a much bigger issue in how we show up for each other in business, in life, in everything. We need to build an economy amongst each other that supports each other no matter what. Because these other cultures, they understand that. And that's something we need to understand. I don't care where you've come from. I don't care what you've been through. You don't have to be a product of what you're experiencing or what you've lived through. You don't have to be a product of that. You know, you get to decide every day how you show up in the world. And I want to challenge us to show up in love, show up in gratitude, in kindness, and watch how God multiplies that for you in friendships, in love, in happiness, right? Because you're giving that out, you're putting that out to the world. And as we're going on this healing journey, let's be supportive of each other. So I want to hear your thoughts on this topic. What are some areas you think we as a community of Black women can work on? Share also some of your experiences and how you were able to navigate through those. Please leave them in the comment section because I want to chat with you. But until next time, God bless.